not doing the boycott. If Alex Sharpton really wanted to make a statement and he really wanted to help the Black American community, then he should have said,
are Black people still not shopping at Target? Because I've been shopping at Target.
Y'all still boycotting Target? Look,
I choose violence. The Starbucks boycott's stupid.
You want us all to boycott every business that just so happens to be in connection to the continent of Africa. You received bad quality service from one individual. You don't go back to that individual. You do not try to elicit a nationwide boycott on everybody of one certain ethnicity.
Respectfully, I'm not boycotting no African braiding shops.
You may end up punishing the very people that you're looking to protect.
You are not a bad person if you cannot afford to boycott and protest.
I just looked at all the fucking places we supposed to be boycotted. I ain't gonna lie, this shit might be going too far.
no, we ain't supposed to be up in here. Why? Did you know that?
Wait, what?
I'm not doing the boycott. I'm shopping anywhere and everywhere today. And today's my birthday, but that's not why. I'm doing it. I'm going to get my hair fixed up. I'm doing it because, and I'm not a Republican, but y'all ethnic Black Americans need to stop letting these Dems manipulate you. You are literally the pawns on the chessboard every time, and you fall for it every time. We only receive 3.8% of DEI. Let those white women and the Hispanics and the Asians that get far more, and I'm not talking about double or triple, these people get almost 20 times more DEI than you. Let them go out there and fight and boycott. Let them be the face of it. Stop making us the face, because you're fools. You're fools. Why? Because they use you to fight for what they want. How come this is not a day to only buy from Black businesses? Don't you think that would have been a more powerful statement? Don't you think that would have helped our community, even more? If Alex Sharpton really wanted to make a statement and he really wanted to help the Black American community, then he should have said, we're going to boycott and we're only buying Black. And then he could have did a list of Black businesses that we could buy from. Instead of making it, don't buy from Target, don't buy from Amazon. It could have been, buy from these brands, buy from your community today. That would have sent a statement. But you know why he didn't do it? Because he's getting paid by the Democrats to get you, to weaponize you against the Republicans for their issues, for their policies, because they are not strong enough to stand up, and they know we're the only ones strong enough to stand up. And so they manipulate us and use us to fight for their problems. DEI is not our problem. It really isn't. Even though they make us the face of DEI, we don't get it. We don't receive it. The best thing the ethnic Black American can do in this climate and what we're experiencing is to go work with your people. Go get an education, go get a trade license, go buy Black, go get some land, okay? Go get a house, save up for a house, go build with your people, build with your children or your spouse or your family, build with each other. That group economics is the number one way. Get married. I need to do that too, okay? That's the number one way. Relying on our family and economically building with our family and our friends and creating a family to build with, like getting married, okay? And trust me, I had to learn this the hard way myself. Is the number one way where we will be successful and make an impact and a dent and make a statement. All of this stuff that you're doing is just fighting for the Democrats that don't really care about us. So I'm going to shop wherever I want today. And guess what? If I don't shop at Amazon or whatever, I'm not boycotting. I'm just going to support my own community like I have done almost every day this week. I even bought Sacred. That was my little birthday present to myself. So I'm about to like press my hair out or whatever and do my Sacred. I just supported a Black woman's business, okay? So if you want to make a statement today, go support Black people. Go buy from your own community.
Are Black people still not shopping at Target? Because I've been shopping at Target. Like, I never stopped. The DEI boycott is so stupid. Here's why. We put so much stock into DEI as a Black community when DEI actually benefited over 90% of white women. Also, did you know that Target carries the most African American products over any other merchandise store in America? So if we don't shop at Target, then those black companies lose that money that we aren't giving them anymore. Make it make sense. Also, Target provides me access to black companies that I can't access anywhere else. Here's the kicker. We put so much stock into a man-made construct in the name of equality. And some people literally think without DEI, then they wouldn't be in the positions that they're in. So you are indirectly saying that you need DEI to get in those positions. But last time I checked, you needed God to get you into those positions. Because at the end of the day, DEI doesn't have the final say. God has the final say. Your name was already written in that seat before you were born. DEI has nothing to do with it. It's so crazy how we can get lost in the worldly things when God is the one that dictates and opens the path to these opportunities. I'm not gonna lie, DEI is helpful. But when it's only benefited less than 10% of my people, that's nothing to be pissed about. Oh, also, Target still employs us. So I don't understand. Like, it makes me think, do you even trust in God? Because if you're that bent out of shape about DEI, then...
Y'all still boycotting Target? Look, I'm here in the Target and I'm watching. I'm not buying nothing. I tell you that right now. My mom's in here spending her gift cards because she just happens to work at a bougie school. I can't take, and look at that. They're really trying, y'all. They're really trying, but let me tell you something. The amount of alternative white women in here is making me gag a maggot. It's making me gag on a spoon. I don't understand it nor like it. And why are their cards full? I thought we were supposed to be boycotting Target. I thought y'all were on. I thought y'all were with me. I thought y'all were with your, supporting of DEI. What the hell is going on? This place, they've got America in the front and gay all the way in the back. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't clicking, and the energy in here is off. The energy in here is bad.
Boycotting is not always the answer. Sometimes it's more important to spend strategically. Everyone's talking about how Target, among other retailers, have been rolling back their DEI programs in response to that person's similar move on a federal level. My heart goes out to all those DEI professionals who've lost their jobs. But a boycott is not necessarily the answer, because you may end up punishing the very people that you're looking to protect. For instance, the black and brown and women-owned businesses that you can find at Target, people like Tabitha Brown or the CEO of the Lip Bar. Her name escapes me right now. Apologies for that. A boycott would end up punishing them, because it would mean that Target could look at their numbers and say, well, your products are not performing on shelf. We're going to take them off. And then they're erased, which is not a winning outcome. Instead, if you really want to express your displeasure at that retailer's actions, what you might consider instead is going into Target and buying only Black, Asian, Latino, women-owned brands, strategically spending. And if you consider that the Black community, as of like 2024 data, has 1.8 trillion in buying power, you strategically spend, you can send a pretty compelling message. Maybe it's about strategic spending all the time. My mind is naturally going here anyway, because I'm on a no-buy year, because I want to consider how to spend intentionally. I want to evaluate my current possessions and winnow them down or right-size them. My own version of minimalism, essentially. I truly feel that I have too much and that my spending habits have become emotional, and emotion and money is not usually a good combination. And so strategic spending, intentional living, these are ideas that I feel it's advantageous for us to consider anyway. So as we consider the moves that are being made on a federal level, on a national level, on an international level to erase, eradicate, minimize DEI, etc., think strategy. Yes, these things suck. Yes, it's emotionally disturbing. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. And there's a more effective response than dysregulating your system or becoming distracted by an emotional response. Consider how best to come out of it a winner. This, at the end of the day, we should not forget, is a game about position, power, and money. So let's spend strategically. And that ends my TED Talk for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
Boycott fatigue. You can't go a few weeks without getting your caramel macchiato from Starbucks?
Hi, beautiful people. Let's talk about boycott fatigue because a lot of Black women and others are saying they're tired. We've boycotted Target, Starbucks, Amazon, even African braiders, and now some people are asking, what is the strategy? Why Target when they actually carry Black-owned products? Why do Black women keep being asked to carry the load for these movements, only to be used as a political pawn by the Democrats and left with nothing? And let's be real, the privilege of boycotting doesn't exist for everyone. If you do live in an underserved community, your only option might be Walmart or Target. So now folks are frustrated, confused, and overwhelmed. Too many boycotts, not enough clarity. And the real question is, what is the end game? How do these actions actually benefit Black people long term? Or are we just burning ourselves out with no strategy? The focus I see is that Black people pour their dollars into Black-owned businesses and make it a practice to do so. Let me know what you think about all of this, and I will talk to y'all later.
You know, I actually had to look this up because I was like, what the fuck is boycott fatigue? What is that? Like, there's no way that it's exactly what it sounds like, and turns out it's exactly what it sounds like.
So Miss Lady here has a lot of spicy words to basically say that y'all should be boycotting. Boycott fatigue is ridiculous, and it's more important to help people that are in dire straits, you know, these horrible living conditions, versus your want or desire for a certain product at a company that the group has selected to boycott due to their affiliations, either direct or indirectly, towards certain organizations that are anti-human rights, etc.
Now, this next lady is very passionate. She is very much saying that people should not be boycotting Starbucks, and this is why.
I choose violence. The Starbucks boycott's stupid. Look, if you are somebody who is not going to shop at Starbucks because they were so resistant to unions, I respect that. Fine. Boycotting Starbucks because they fund Israel, you literally have no idea what you are fucking talking about. BDS boycott lists include organic homegrown boycotts. McDonald's is on that list. Starbucks is not. And that is because Starbucks has never funded Israel. Starbucks has never had a Starbucks in Israel. Starbucks is a business that has been thumbs upped by the BDS multiple times.
All right, so next up, let's talk about the African braider boycott. Some Black women have spoken up and said they will not be boycotting, and this is why.
Respectfully, I'm not boycotting no African braiding shops. I'm not. Y'all gonna have to beat me up about it. I don't give a fuck. I'm bald-headed. I cut my hair. And when my hair was about this thick, this long, they was able to put box braids into my hair. Knotless box braids. I was able to get my hair cornrow. My African braiding shop, they take out my braids, wash my hair, detangle it, and then put in new braids. Without an appointment. I get my braids done in 4 hours. 4 hours. I can order food to the African braiding shops. I can have my friends sit in the African braiding shops with me. I don't even gotta ask. Shit, if I have kids, I could probably sit my kids in the African braiding shops and I don't have to ask. They have AC in my African braiding shop and a flat screen TV. Each mirror is a LED light mirror. Okay? The African braiding shops has developed. I'll be damned if I have to sit there and read a fucking policy to get my hair fucking braided. I don't have to put a deposit with the African braiders. Each African braider that touch my head fucking eats down. I don't gotta pick somebody. Whoever gets me, I'm blessed to have. I don't gotta bring my own hair. I don't have to bring my own braiding hair. Shit, sometimes I don't even have to bring my own human hair if I don't want to. Okay, they have whatever color you want, actually. So I don't know where we boycotting The African braiders, I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. And I won't. My African braiders are 24 hours. You see, it's 11 p.m. right now as I'm making this video, and I need to get cornrows done tomorrow morning. If I wanted to leave my house right now to go get my cornrows done right now, I could have got it done without an appointment. Boycott what?
Respectfully, and most importantly, personally, I will not be boycotting all African businesses. I will not be participating in that boycott. I personally do not see the sense in it. And let me tell you why. All right, so when the situation first hit my timeline, it first hit my For You page, I needed all the details. I needed to figure out what exactly is going on. Why is there being a massive notification being pushed out to boycott all African businesses? Like, what's tea? And then after actually doing the research and figuring out what was going on, you mean to tell me that one customer, African-American woman, a black woman, right, just so happened to receive bad customer service from a service provider who is a hair braider that is of African descent, right? And now decided because of that personal experience that she was going to basically ignite in a mass nationwide boycott of all African businesses. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to any of you guys? In all honesty, one isolated situation, one isolated event that I'm not saying is not uncommon. We've all dealt with very money hungry service providers that do not care about quality. They do not care about customer service. We've all been there before, but you just don't go back to that particular person. You don't give money to that particular person. But to now enlist an entire boycott of all African businesses, do you know how many mouths you're going to be stopping from being able to get fed? Do you know how many bills you're going to now be helping pile up? A lot of small business owners, all because of one incident where you didn't feel respected by this particular service provider, and now you want us to basically boycott all service providers from this continent, because it's not a country, it's a continent. You want us all to boycott every business that just so happens to be in connection to the continent of Africa. That makes sense? Because if that was the case, when that Chinese American shot and killed that black girl, accusing her of stealing, and she wasn't stealing, there wouldn't be as many Asian businesses flourishing in America if y'all were all on that type of timing. If all it took was one isolated incident, right, for there to be a mass boycotting, Asians should not be the leaders in beauty store supply chains and whatnot. They shouldn't be number one. They shouldn't have as many nail shops. You understand? Do you know how many times I've actually gone online and booked to get my hair done by a black American stylist and was so underwhelmed by the quality of customer service? When I'm talking about rude, y'all want deposits. We give the deposits. You guys complain about it too. So it's not a thing about ethnicity or nationality. It's just there are some shitty service providers out there that are literally just doing it for a check, and we know that. I would have been all for it if you stated, and I'm talking specifically to that customer who started this all, if you wanted to be like, do not come to this particular location, don't go there, they're X, Y, and Z, yeah, go ahead, boycott them. Because if they don't care about their customer service, they shouldn't be in customer service fields. They shouldn't be over here providing services if they fail in that area. You understand? But for you to take one isolated situation and now compare it to everybody else, that don't make no sense to me. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Especially when I'm not, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just call it out how it is. We're not doing that to the others. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all not giving that same energy right now to the others. So let's not do it within our own diaspora, okay? You received bad quality service from one individual, you don't go back to that individual. You do not try to elicit a nationwide boycott on everybody of one certain ethnicity, because you're now affecting a lot of the homes of those, like, for what? That don't make no sense. Off of one person? I'm sorry, miss me with that.
I just looked at all the fucking places we supposed to be boycotted. I ain't gonna lie, this shit might be going too far. I already don't fuck with Target. Damn, they got Walmart too.
Okay. Being able to boycott every single company that says or does something that doesn't align with your whatever views is such a privilege that we don't talk about on the internet. Because something will happen, right? And a company will come out and say something or do something, and everyone's outraged, rightfully so. And then people start to boycott, as they should. But then some people come out being like, hey, you know, I can't afford to boycott this business because X, Y, and Z. And most of the time it's, oh, this place sells things that are necessities that I need for my everyday life. And then you want to come on here and call people lazy and, oh, you're just making excuses, when it's like, no, some people can't afford to boycott a grocery store. Some people can't afford to boycott some of these bigger brands that sell necessities such as food, clothes, shit you need around your house. And then y'all be making people feel bad about it. Why is that? I don't get it. Being able to boycott is a privilege. And if you have that privilege, use it. But just keep in mind that not everyone has the same privileges that you do. And that is okay. Okay. Being able to boycott every single company that says or does something that doesn't align with your whatever views is such a privilege that we don't talk about on the internet. Because something will happen, right? And a company will come out and say something or do something, and everyone's outraged, rightfully so. And then people start to boycott, as they should. But then some people come out being like, hey, you know, I can't afford to boycott this business because X, Y, and Z. And most of the time it's, oh, this place sells things that are... You are not a bad person if you cannot afford to protest. Listen, you are not a bad person if you cannot afford to boycott and protest, because times is hard. It's one thing to give up your morning frap from Starbucks or your little whatnots from Target, but it's a whole nother thing, because I'm from a small town in a rural area, and the closest affordable grocery store is Walmart that's 30 miles away. And people have to carpool, get a ride there, and everything. It's not as easy to give up options when you don't have a choice, or you can't afford to go to the more expensive privately owned grocery stores and pay double the price. Because if you're on a fixed income, paying double the price is going to cause you to have half as much food. And we don't need people being hungry. We are not trying to die by the sword. We're swinging for change. You hear me? Nobody should feel bad if you can't participate. Like now, I live in a city where I have a few options. But there are some items that people cannot afford to go without or pay more for. And that's okay. You are not a bad person. Do what you can within your means. Do not leave your family hungry. Do not leave your family in a bad position because somebody's making you feel bad.
Why you got you up in here? We doing a boycott. Huh? We ain't supposed to be in here. Sis, what you doing up in here? We supposed to be boycotting. Oh, you know you ain't supposed to be up in here. You ain't here. That's what I'm talking about. I'm proud of you. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I'm proud of you. And I came to talk to us so we can think better of ourselves. Yes. I better wait. My daughter did say that. I'm going to wait. It's up to you, but... No, I appreciate you holding me accountable because I know I'm not supposed to be in here. We're supposed to be boycotting because we ain't supposed to be up in here. We boycotting. We're boycotting. No, we ain't supposed to be up in here. Why? Did you know that?
Wait, what?
I'm talking to my sister.
Sorry.